Hi, welcome to the Stockinit Zombies. I'm Amy, also known as J-Knitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It. And this is episode 172.
Yes, it is.
Yes, and the scheduling continues to be crazy. I had house guests on Sunday, in which I didn't. Normally, my husband goes over into another room and watches TV with headphones on, and doesn't tiptoe around, but doesn't talk to anybody for, you would hear it, I think, even if it wasn't very loud. And so, I wasn't going to ask my father-in-law to whisper to my husband in the other room while we recorded.
Can you two keep it down?
Yes, we're trying to talk to people on the internet. But yeah, I had a crazy weekend of birthday parties, all kinds of birthday parties. 16 6-year-olds, everybody dropping off their kids were like, are you okay? Is this okay that we leave? I'm like, yeah, it's okay. And it still was a lot of kids. Had just really random things too. Makes me wonder what my kids say to other adults.
Right.
Had a kid come up and be like, I want pepperoni pizza. And I'm like, I'm sorry, sweetie, we're all out, but we've got cheese here. I don't want cheese. And I'm like, but you picked the pepperoni off of your pepperoni pizza and it's sitting on the plate here. And that's the same thing as eating cheese pizza. But I want pepperoni pizza. Like, okay. Not much I can do about it. Sorry. Had another little girl like, I can't jump. I hurt my back.
At 6 years old.
At 6 years old.
I hurt my back. Yeah.
And at first I was kind of concerned, and then I was like, oh, she's just, maybe a little of a hypochondriac there. Maybe.
Or she just wants attention.
Yeah. Because I was like, so I got down on the ground. I was like, can you do the pretzel? Can you touch your toes? Those all kind of stretch out your back. She's like, oh yeah, my back feels a lot better now. But it did. I felt like I had to use all of my parenting ninja skills with that many 6-year-olds.
The kid with the pepperoni pizza. I'm like, if that parent came up and I had the wherewithal at the time that they came, I'd be like, did you know that your daughter likes pepperoni cheese pizza?
Yeah, the pepperoni removed.
It has to be pepperoni, and then you pick all the pepperoni off, and then you eat it. But if there's only cheese left, that's not good enough.
Yes, definitely not. And then there was another little girl who was like, I'm going to have one piece of each. So we had cheese and sausage and pepperoni. And boy, howdy, she did.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, my kids would not eat 3.
Yeah, but yeah, that was a lot of fun. And then we had a birthday party for my husband at later that same day at the park, and Amy and her lovely family attended.
We did.
Yes. My husband put most of it together, and he was, he likes to brag. He's like, we do parties like this almost every weekend. This wasn't all that big of a deal. And I was like, but you don't go to Sam's, and you don't invite him and his biking clan do, kind of last minute party scenarios like that all the time. But beautiful weather. And then yesterday I took the day off and we just biked all over Rochester together. I was like, are you sure you want to bike around Rochester? Because you do that a lot. And he was like, that's okay. Let's do it. So we went to a couple of new restaurants, the Half Barrel, which he's been to often because it's down near where he works. And then we went to the Crooked Pint.
Ah, cool.
Which is where the old green mill was.
And how was that?
Good. Their desserts were really good. They had this thing called a Cookie Lucy. So it's supposed to be like a Juicy Lucy, but it's 2 chocolate chip cookies with cream cheese in the middle, trapped in the middle, so it got all gooey in there, and then ice cream, and then whipped cream. And that was fantastic.
Does sound good.
It was fantastic. And then they had a cobbler in a glass, and that was an apple cobbler. That was less fantastic than the Lucy, but.
No, I haven't been in there yet. Did it seem like a family establishment?
Yeah. Okay. I could see. Yep. I mean, they did have a lot of beers on tap.
But otherwise.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, but couldn't have asked for better weather. It rained today and was kind of cool, but yesterday it was fantastic. So But yes, hopefully all of the celebrating is done.
Yeah.
I mean, not that celebrating is bad, but even as the extrovert that I am, like, I was just tired after all of that social interaction. Like, went to bed early last night despite wanting to, like, stay up and be like, oh, I'm still birthday partying it up with you, hubby. Nope, fell asleep on the couch early. I was tired. Lots of celebrating, but you got your hair cut.
I did.
Super cute.
Yeah, I've been, I don't know, training my hair. I don't know. Going to get my hair cut more often so that I can have, I don't know, healthier hair. I almost always am lazy about haircuts, and I just let them go until I can't stand it anymore. And then I have them either chop it off or do something to, but now I'm like, okay, let's grow, and then let's, trim the areas that need to be trimmed, but also keep, I don't know, trying something different.
I like it. Looks cute. Kind of reminds me of I used to have like it really short in the back and then longer in the front.
Yep.
Like when we first started podcasting.
Yeah, and when she got done styling it and whatever, I immediately thought of Orphan Black, and I started doing my Rachel impressions in the mirror because it was the same Rachel length, and I was like, oh, it's Rachel.
Yes. Ah, Orphan Black. All right, we have Administrati.
We do.
Okay. So we did the Coopnitz drawing, which was for her socks too, that we reviewed a couple episodes ago. And that was 2 through 213. And the winner was, very randomly, 213, which is Packy Knits 1. And yeah, that's pretty random to have the last number be the thing that gets selected. But that's how you know it's really random.
Really random, yeah.
Really random. And then April's on the books.
Yep.
I don't know how that happened. It was the days, they passed, apparently. And my cognition of them was that they didn't, because I don't know how it's already May. Yeah. But we had some very generous sponsors. A Darn Good Yarn Sarasota gave us some Lorna's laces in this fun raise colorway, and I have the other one skeined up to try to make some sort of foot to head, soft head type with patterning.
Gotcha.
But have yet to get to it. Been kind of knit, rinse, repeat lately. And we also have 2 Meltran Designs free patterns of your choice from her shop. And So For You was the bag sponsor this month. Just a heads up, I don't have anybody for May lined up for self-striping. So if you have self-striping and you are interested, please let me know. Otherwise, I might start asking around. Anyway, so that's 4 winners for the month of April. 2 Meltran Designs, So For You bag, and Darn Good Yarn Lorna's laces that they had dyed up. And the winners were 252, 107, 540, and 477. So that is Jillian is 272. Her Rav name was Jamadrin. I don't know what syllable there is an emphasis on. And she gets to choose a Meltran pattern. If you wanted to tell me what you were choosing, I can contact her directly and tell her that please gift you a pattern. The other one, 107, is Mrs. Shu, who has the In a Snit podcast and has come to our retreat and is just a wonderful person. I can't look at her or think about her without smiling. Yep, she's just a happy person. Smiley. The So For You bag is a choice of one of the bags in her shop. So again, if you contacted me with your choice, I could contact her and say that you had contacted me, and lots of fun going on there. And that is 540 is Malee 67, Malee 67. And last is the yarn. Contact me with your address and I can get that sent to you. All the 2 free patterns don't need an address, but Malee, I would need an address from you, as well as the bag that you chose from her shop. And last, 477 is Phoenix Fire. So Phoenix Fire, I have this for you.
All right.
Yes, and yeah, 683 is the number that was the top number. So we're getting up there.
Yeah.
Not even halfway through the year.
Cool.
And we're already at 683. Yes, super cool. Love the self-striping.
Yep.
Need to knit some more of it myself, but the patterns that I've been repeating have not lended themselves to self-striping. So,
no, I would say not. I don't know. I've been on such a small items kick for a while that I need to get back to my sweaters. So that's kind of what I've been thinking about doing lately. Plus more minis if I get the chance. I go in spurts. Like, oh, I got 4 or 5 more done, and then it's like, oh, I'll take a break for a while, and then I get into them and I want to knit like 2 or 3 a night. It's not that. It's like one and little, because I want to at least get 1 row on that thing done before I start the mini, or I don't know. Trying to do weird procrastination motivation skills.
I'm definitely, yeah. I've got, a ton of swatches and things that I've been working on for a pattern that I've been asked to write, and
just need to
focus grasshopper, but instead I'm focusing on other things. It's like it's procrastinating.
Procrastinating sounds
it's a word. Procrastinating. Knitting on something else instead of other things.
So this is my brioche thing that I finished. It was just me guessing at what. So here it's a disaster / I will hopefully find a lovely recipient for it. But it's got the vines pattern on it that for the brioche. But then when I put it on, I was like, well, there's no way to like kind of close it in tight to you, and there's no way to double it up to wrap it around twice. So what am I going to do? Well, I created a gather spot halfway down, and so now it's a tighter cowl so that you can fit it around, and then just cinch and tie so that it's, I don't know, it stands up.
It looks very colonial.
Does it?
Kind of like the, when they wore the ruffles around their neck.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that's not colonial.
Victorian?
Victorian, yes.
So yeah, and
Amy's like, that wasn't the look I was going for.
Well, no, and I think it's very heavy, and so like the combination of everything, and I don't think that this yarn
would very dense.
Yeah, and I don't think that this yarn would hold up to me reknitting it. So that's outer, if you care to. Spud and Chloe outer. It's a rustic, non-rustic. I mean, I don't know. It's just loosely spun, and bulky.
Yeah. I mean, brioche would be a good thing to practice with bulky, but I don't. Yeah, the garment's going to be very dense and
heavy and big, and so yeah, I think that going forward, I'll be using worsted or DK.
Yeah, I use DK on my one with the 2 colors. And that seemed, I mean, even then it was a little dense, but when you're working on something for the winter, it's okay for it to be dense.
Yeah. So I was just thinking like, oh, well, you can get an instant warmth because it is thick and wool, and so when you put it around your neck, you're like, oh, there's instantly starting to warm around my face. But to make it more practical for going outside, I thought about like adding buttons and other things, but that just seemed like it made it more fussy.
Yeah.
So
dense.
It's very dense. It's heavy. 3 skeins. Yeah, fun.
Is that an I-cord or yeah?
It's a chain.
Okay.
A crochet chain. So yeah, I just made a quick crochet chain. That's all I had the yarn for. Enough yarn for.
Yeah.
Left.
Yeah, an I-cord would be even more dense.
Yeah. So it's very like, I don't know. You almost feel like you're on your own private little, like, oh, it's like a sensory deprivation chamber.
If you put that on, you're in your own little private island.
Yeah.
Your little
personal summer.
Yeah, your own personal summer. Somebody used that in our class with Amy.
Yep, and it was fun.
Yes.
It got reused a lot.
Yeah. If you're experiencing your own personal summer.
So that was it for finished, as far as I can recall.
Oh, okay. Yeah, hopefully I didn't finish that thought. I'm sometimes bad at finishing thoughts, but hopefully we should be back on track starting next week. Unless one of us has a real whiz-bang Mother's Day. Like my husband whisks me off to another country or something for Mother's Day. Yeah. A woman can dream, right? I finished another Clara, which somebody very nicely put in last week's thread, that there are a bunch of free patterns and project notes that are out there to, if you're interested in this pattern, and lookalikes, huge modifications like mine. I would never write up another pattern just because it would be too similar. It's obviously inspired by the Clara, which is not a free pattern, but lots of really great notes out there. I guess like a picture from an old like 1940s Swedish magazine is out there. It's been translated, and so it's like one of those things where there's a lot out there if you're interested in the Clara pattern or the general aesthetic of it, right? And so this was with Cyborg's Craft Room in the final countdown colorway. I had very little left over. So just like the teeny tiniest little ball that was attached here.
That's leftovers, right?
Yes.
So.
I think I had 78 grams when I started. So probably used like 75 grams, 76 grams. But it was a good use of what I had left over. It's very pretty. I like it a lot. The only thing that I did a little differently, this was the 140 stitch variation. I didn't like last time how the leaves lined up and there were just 2 in the front. I liked that one was centered. So I kind of offset it a little different. This one I ended up knitting the top several times to be able to fit it over my head. And I have a ponytail, so I'm not going to do it. It's going to stop it from going right there, but that's my meter of whether or not it will fit over a baby's head. So I ripped it out and did less decreases so that it would for sure fit over a baby's head. And then it's 3 of 4. So if I'm jumping right into whips, I cast on an Orange You Glad It's Pink cute. Out of the Cyborg's Craft Room, and it'll be the 4th Clara.
Cute.
Yeah, I was thinking that it would be, if I were on my game here, some of these skeins where I'm only using 20, or I have 20 grams left over. If I start out with a whole instead of a partial, like that one, could make some little booties or something. Probably not enough for a hat. And a couple of them are big enough that I don't know that the dresses are big enough that they would wear them at the same time. They might end up being like a 6 to 12 month kid wears it, and then they probably wouldn't wear the booties at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really put booties on a 6 to 12 month. Well, you don't without them ripping them off.
You
or they
can.
become like, chew toys rather than,
Yes.
because they take them off their feet. But
oh, I forgot about that.
yeah,
They rip those socks right off their feet, and they
yeah,
go to town. No.
yeah. Or just like the random like shoe falls off while they're walking through the parking lot, right? Because they're not really using them, but they're on their feet, and they take them off and then have no concept of keeping track of them. So,
Right.
Yep. What are you working on there?
This is the Cabernet cowl, and I'm doing the infinity version. I am running low.
Yeah.
So I have 2 more balls to go into this, and so that should be a good size. And hopefully this one will be the right size, especially with the thickness. I think it will be better for wrapping and doing that. And this one is 2 pattern, not just some weird random like, oh, I kind of cast on and I wanted to practice my brioche. And
You mean you're not going to put a pulled string through that one?
I hope not.
It looks, I like the patterning. It's very pretty, very striking. That red will really pop against your black coat or somebody's coat.
Yeah, it might still end up in the gift pile, or who knows what's going to happen to that brioche gown. We'll see. Like I said, I don't know if the yarn could handle a reknit. And maybe it can. It just doesn't seem like it.
Has it been washed at all?
No.
Okay.
No, that's all just hand and bag handling. And something else that kind of bit my I don't know, knitting, I got caught a knitting bug, was that I had bought some yarn a million years ago, don't know the shop name, don't know whatever, and it has been balled up and ready to start for at least a year. This is the West Knit's Daybreak shawl with a gradient collection, so there were 8 singles that gradiate, and so I am through 2 colors right now, and I have the 3rd one in here ready to start.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, and again, like, I wish I could tell you where the yarn's from. I don't remember. If you remember anything about like 8 skein gradient, it's I believe it was like a locally milled or something else like that was special about it, sourced or something differently, because it wasn't just a standard yarn that was broken up. But
Gotta throw those tags in there, man.
sorry, it was already. It's kind of grabby. I actually don't think it came with a tag, to be honest. Like as soon as I got it, it was on a string already that had all 8 in order, and then I don't think there was a tag on that string. So after I received it, it still didn't have a tag that I remember. But yep, that's going, and hopefully I have enough room with the gray to be able to get through all 8 balls.
And they're all the same base.
Yep. Well, this is TML.
Oh.
And then this is a 2-ply of whatever it is, because again, don't have the information. I just remember it being sort of special. Like,
is that gray the same as my gray?
Could be. No.
Where's this?
I think the only gray I remember in that line me lusting after was Silver Fox, so it might be Silver Fox.
Okay.
Unless I chose something else at the last minute, but
pretty.
So that's that one. And I think I had started this last week, and I got to the point where I was going back and forth, and then I stopped again. So this is another Langsfield. And I am at the origami part of it, where you can't really see what's going on, but it is for an adult. It will fit my head. The other one just barely fit my son, so I might still have to find a new recipient for it.
Another one for the gift bin, huh?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm like, are there any young boys in my family that are younger, or girls? I mean, it's a pretty blue.
Or just have smaller hands.
Yeah, that's true.
As we have discovered.
Yeah,
Sorry.
But I think even so, I think that this was also kind of a length issue. So I think better to go to a younger, smaller head. But Justin could still wear the one that I had made that was a Langsfield that fits my head, because the one I made for Lucy fits my head. It's very stretchy, and you can roll it. And actually it's designed to roll or slouch. So if they want it to be slouchy, they can have it be slouchy, or they can roll it and make it fit more like a traditional hat. And Lucy really likes hers, so we'll see how that goes. I really like the hat, so I want to eventually make one that's for me. And I thought I had, but it could go to the boy. We'll see. See what he decides. And then, yeah, that's it. Well, I did work quite a bit. Like, I would say a good 2 inches on my cinnamon girl, but it's really hard to tell. I don't have the little like doohickey but I know that I got to this increase round since the last time I showed it off, and I wasn't quite there when I started knitting on it again, so I would say about 2 inches. But
is it hard to like pick it back up randomly and figure out where you are in the cables? And
no, I'm fairly good at reading the cables. These cables are okay because it's either a skip 1 or a skip 2. So you're either doing it every 4 or every 6. So you can look and say, okay, on the next way back I have to cross that again. And then this one's every 6, and it's a wider cable. So it's like, oh, okay.
The only reason why I ask is because I haven't knit online in a while, and I picked it back up, and I don't know, it just felt like there was a certain amount of cognitive burden in figuring out where I was in the pattern because it had been so long. Whereas if I had just been knitting on it, you know, on and off constantly, I think I would have been like, oh yeah, that's right, I'm on this row, you know. I guess adventures in polygamy.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah, I suppose. I guess for me, this one, I think that the diamonds kind of help with that, and they're kind of offset, so it's the same pattern, but it's offset by that much, so you can say, oh, this one's diamond is going like this, the other one's going like this, so you can kind of tell, you know, okay, where does that sync up in the pattern. But yeah, the cable crosses was probably where I probably felt the most like, oh, am I going to remember? And I think it's easy enough to read that, oh, if I cross that now, it's going to be too tight. So it needs to be the next row. Cool. But miracle.
Yes.
Really
epic.
Yes, and I was a little concerned reading the pattern when I needed to put the arms in, and I need another full pattern repeat, basically, even though I've already done waist shaping, because it's more of a crop. Just rereading the pattern and looking at where it hits the person. I was going to say model, but I think it's Amy Christopher's herself in the pattern. So, yeah, it's going. It's going. I believe that it's going to fly here in a moment. Like, I want to focus on it again, so it's going to start getting a lot more attention. But like I said, this one just got a lot of focus. I guess since you didn't see it and I started it and got this far, it probably is pretty obvious that But again,
because it's been less than a week, right? Last week
Yep.
we were, so yeah. Goodness. Lots and lots of shawl progress. I think I figured out in Amy Herzog's class that I don't really like shawls because I'm top heavy. And I think it draws emphasis to my upper half. And then I feel unbalanced.
Yeah, more top heavy.
Yep,
Right.
yep. So, I mean, I love shawls, don't get me wrong. I love knitting them. I don't know that I'm going to ever be a big wearer of shawls, but I know people that enjoy wearing shawls. And I think maybe I just haven't found the right shape, or maybe I need it to cover more. Like I wear my Brioche or Viajante quite a bit, and I think that's because it's asymmetrical.
More like wearing a sweater poncho.
Yep, and it draws your, what did Amy say? Your eye is stupid. So it follows it. Yeah, and so it isn't just an upper body accoutrement. It's a full body experience. As I said, I needed something small to take with me yesterday on the bike ride, so I cast on this bad boy. I really love Cyborg's Craft Room's colorways for these projects. Beautiful as socks, beautiful as a hat, beautiful as a baby dress. And then I was looking at my project pages and could not believe how long this has been on the needles, but that's okay. As I mentioned, had a bit of a where am I orientating moment when I was working on this, but ultimately I've been working on Clara's and my May Hito Fude and designs, but that's not to say that I'm not enjoying this. Every time I pick it up, it's I had somebody contact me and say that's just a lot of purling, and I was like, no, it's knit flat. So you're knitting on the wrong side, and that's where you get the purl rows. Really enjoy the slip stitch and cabling, and this linen merino. I really like the way that the stitches pop in it. So definitely can see, not there's no resonance, so it's not like it's striping, but there's definitely areas of very light. And I was trying to explain to my husband, because he's like, why do you have 2 strings attached to that if it's not 2 colors? And so the best way I could figure out how to explain to him what I was doing was if you were painting a room and you knew you were going to use 2 cans of paint.
You mix them.
You would mix them. You wouldn't use one and then start painting with the other and realize, oh wait, they didn't do a really good job matching the.
Yeah, that's a pro tip.
Yeah, definitely. If you know that you're going to use more than the one skein, you definitely mix throughout, because as much every time that I don't, I regret it, because I'll see the line. And I'll be like, ah. And even if you do mix, sometimes you see the line. But at least you know you did what you could.
You did all that I could.
I did all that we could for it, and it still didn't matter. And then you just go, hey, it's unique. I uniqueified it. But yes, this is the Peaceful Pullover out of Elegant Economy. We will be giving her bag sets and patterns away on not this Sunday. This Sunday. Also, didn't mention it in Minestrati. Stockinette Zombies has a brand new Instagram account.
Yeah, that's
Go
right.
out and follow it. I hope to post a picture of that. Those prizes on it, and also other ZK fun and prizes that we've got there, and just we just decided that, I every week, my husband laughed at me. He's like, every week you post that Twitter, you have a new episode, whatever, and both Amy and you are on Instagram way more often. I'm like, yeah, and he's like, and you just started Instagram. Stockinette Zombies. I was like, yeah. Didn't say that I was the smartest person. Duh.
Yeah.
But
it's still something to maintain, because you have to log into that one and then.
Yep, for sure. But we hope to do fun things with it. So go out and follow us. And if you're not on Instagram, oh my goodness, I just love Instagram. Like if you're a picture person at all, like the art of photography is not lost on me. I absolutely love it, connoisseur of it, but I'm not very, I don't think that I get very good composition or light sometimes. But love all of the pictures that are out on Instagram. Just absolutely. Every day it makes me happy to go through and be like, oh, beautiful yarn, oh, beautiful projects, oh, beautiful, it doesn't even have to be knitting related. So, but yeah. There was a advertisement for Instagram.
Yeah.
Go join. And that account will be public, so you should be able to follow that. Even if you don't have an account, I think you can see pictures.
Oh, yes.
Via their web pages. So,
cool.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't have any enabling.
I only have a club colorway that I hesitate to show because I just got it. So I forgot to talk about my sock that hasn't really grown that much.
Intermixed whips in progress. Works in progress.
So,
whips in progress.
Wow. So I have, this lovely
fruit stripe gum.
Almost done. Fruit stripe gum sock. And then I can cast on another one, but I have no desire to knit on socks anymore. It has left the building. So it might stay languishing until the retreat when I probably need some sock knitting to work on.
Just stocking it around. Zoom, zoom.
Yeah, exactly. And, yeah.
Okay.
That's all I
Ready
have.
for ZK?
Yes.
We met and exceeded our stretch goal thanks to Miss Amy. So we've got the classes out to the teachers, and we should hopefully have the schedule for that all firmed up. And then we can let you know when class signups will be. This year we're going to try to enforce a limit on the number of classes that you can sign up for, because we've got so many retreat attendees, and we don't want, we want there to be spots for lots of people to be able to take the classes, not,
Yep.
the same 50 people taking all of them, which would be awesome. But yeah, we've got a limited number of teachers and classrooms, and need to be able to share the love and the wealth.
And we just, there was a significant jump in attendees this year, as there was last year, so something had to be done. So I think that's how we're going to solve that. For now.
I sent out emails and messages to folks about sending door prizes and or goodie bags. Have had a wonderful response thus far, and have had a few people contact me from our little message last week. So keep it coming. If I haven't contacted you, that doesn't mean that we're not interested. Would absolutely love to put your products in the hands of our knitters that come to the retreat, our retreat attendees, and then they can take them back and show them to the folks that their knit groups, and spread the word, spread the love. What else do we got going on?
I opened a volunteer thread.
Okay.
So if you would like to help us out in some capacity, I'm just letting people raise their hand at this point. So you can go into the threads. There won't be any particular order that I am picking volunteers. I know a lot of people said I can do like 1 through 5, or I can do 2 through 6, and that's great. And I might come up with number 7 any moment now. So as you would like to sign up for things, just go ahead go out to the thread and say, oh, I could totally help with that, and that. That would be wonderful. At some point, I will reach my capacity for volunteers and then start assigning places for our volunteers. And the response has been really good, even without advertising. The thread magically appeared in our group, and people started signing up. So it is out in the Zombie Knitpocalypse group, not the Stockinit Zombies group. So you could head out there and take a look and see what there is to sign up for. We have registration helper We have ambassadors. Ambassadors would be people who have previously attended the retreat and would be willing to organize one meal for these new people that you are helping in your ambassador capacities.
Be somebody's first friend at the retreat.
Yes, exactly. And there will be buttons for those people, and maybe something else, but buttons for sure.
Yeah, the 5K stuff has not made an appearance yet because I wanted to list out all of the helpers, not just have them be a number, because I know people in the past have been very interested in specific jobs. So, but we'll need those as well. And yeah, just feels like things are certainly ramping up.
Rolling along.
Ramping up. If May goes as fast as April did, it'll be June before we know it.
And it's shaping up to be, because my work the next 3 weeks, after the end of this week, the 3 weeks following that, gonna be a blur.
Yep.
Gonna be an absolute blur. And then it'll be the beginning of June.
Yep.
So it's like, no.
Yep. I don't know how things could be any busier in my job. And there's not anything that we're necessarily ramping up for. So, whew.
Yeah.
Hopefully things just start getting easier. Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there was anything else retreat newsworthy. But yeah, I guess keep your ear to the ground for the class signups. We'll try to give you plenty of
and we'll be emailing.
Notice. Yes,
emailing about that as well. If you have not received an email from us, make sure that you PM us or email us. We are emailing to the email that you provided at registration. So
yes, and you should have gotten at least one email by now.
Yep. Telling about some things that now the deadline has passed on, but the t-shirts, the wine tour, the 5K, all of that. But yeah, the next big thing that will have a deadline will be not a deadline, but we'll have a start date, would be those class signups, which are free, but are first come, first serve. So
yeah, I will say that the secondary bus for the wine tour is looking not so good, but there is still one sliver of hope that hasn't quite like one little window that hasn't quite slammed shut yet. So hopefully if that little window magically comes, then we'll probably open up a few more spots for the wine and yarn bus crawl thingy. But again, if you're on that list of hopeful taker-uppers on that secondary bus, the window for that is getting a lot smaller, and I have not as high hopes for that as I once did. So, but we're still working. I have one last, go try to get it done thing, and if that happens, great. Yay. We can move forward, but
yeah, still have not had any movement on the wait list. We have now ordered for the number that we have, and so as cancels come in, we might be pulling from that. So.
That is very true. The swag, the goodie bag content has all been ordered. So yeah,
communicated to contributors, and
So if we start to drop down below that number, we'll want to be able to...
historically we have at this point.
Yes.
So life gets in the way, somebody's getting married that you didn't realize, you're going to be traveling for, huge lifetime...
once in a lifetime opportunity.
Retirement, any sort of things that we run the gamut as far as reasons why people can't come. Then we would be pulling from the wait list here. So understand that it's probably going to be short notice for folks that are really far away, but we will be offering nonetheless. So
okay, that's all I had.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye, Ufta.